Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. All right, you guys, first story up. What did I tell you guys last week? That it was probably best that Sharon Osbourne stayed out of the feud. Not the feud, but the debate over whether or not Piers Morgan was attacking Meg and Harry. I told you guys last week that sometimes it's best to just, if you ain't got something that's going with the majority of people at the time, sometimes it's best to just keep these things to yourself. I told you that she was, in her very distressed white woman voice, she ranted at her co-host Cheryl Underwood because she felt that she had not been racist in any way, that she was not a racist. She said that she needed to be shown how she was in any kind of way. And we all know what the rant was. We all was pretty disgusted by it. I'm not part of cancel culture in any way. You know, I didn't feel like I wanted the woman to lose her job. But you have to be able to read the temperature in the room. And you have to know that today's times, what you could say maybe even 5 years ago, what you were able to get away with as maybe being crass, maybe being, a certain way, your personality, those things today, you just cannot do any longer. All right. The world is in a much more sensitive place. Race relations are at an all-time low, and for good reason. Black people have been through a lot, and just that interview alone, the fact that she was going against Meg, and Harry, I just was like, girl, some things you just need to sit at your kitchen table and talk about, okay, with your friends, okay, get on the phone with your girls and talk. But in the general public, certain things you just have to learn how to censor yourself. And that might be bad. That might not be the best way. You know, this is supposed to be the United States. We're supposed to be able to speak freely and have our own opinions. And, all of that. I got all of that. But these businesses today, these TV shows today, they are not trying to have themselves linked to anybody or anything that makes them look like they are sympathetic to a person with racist views. So now we have shut down production. At first it was just a 2-day suspension. Now it's up to 1 week as they do some sort of investigation. I don't really know what these investigations, what they entail, but the network is doing an investigation on the show, and of course we've heard all kind of other things about what's going on over there. The Holly Robinson Pete situation, her saying that Sharon Osbourne said she was too ghetto for the show and was the reason why she got fired from the show. I didn't even remember Holly Robinson being on there. Of course Sharon denied that, said she doesn't have the power to fire anybody. That's been going around. And there's other things that's been said about the show, and them talking about certain topics on the show, what they have said that they would stay away from, and so it's just a bunch of shit that's going on. So it's been a week. Sharon Osbourne has now gotten to the point where she feels like she's she's the scapegoat. She feels like CBS is, for whatever reason, attacking her. She feels like she's not even sure if she wants to be on the show any longer. She doesn't feel welcome there any longer. So I don't even know if they do clear her on this investigation, if the lady is even coming back to the show. Not that it's going to break her in any way. Sharon Osbourne is rich. But that's not the point here, I'm sure. I'm just, nobody wants to lose a job. And I'm sure she had plans on being on this show for, however long she lasted. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation. But I'm telling you, people gonna learn one day to just stay out of things. Sometimes you don't always have to have an opinion. You can have one, but you ain't always got to share it. If you choose that's what you want, that's perfectly fine as well. If you feel strongly about being able to express yourself, you should be able to do that. Okay, this is the United States. But you also have to deal with the ramifications of being so outspoken or saying things that are truly how you feel. And then, of course, being misunderstood. Maybe you didn't mean something the way that people perceive it. So it's like a lot of, it's a lot. She refused to see where any way that Piers Morgan was problematic. 1 week later, this is where we are. So we'll see what happens with the show. It's interesting how they just shut a show down so quickly, and then it's just sort of like, what happens now? Like, is the show even going to come back? I mean, that show is a successful show. It's been on for many years. So I guess we'll see what's going on. But yeah, Sharon Osbourne is very upset. But you can't say that sis didn't warn you. All right, you guys, so the Grammys. Did you guys watch the Grammys that aired on Sunday night? If you didn't watch it when you normally do, then that makes sense why the numbers were down so much. We had 8 million viewers, somewhere around 8 million viewers. They said that is 50% less than what they usually get in views of the Grammys. I honestly don't think that people are really in the mood for award shows. This year, the pandemic, people's attention has been on many other things. Even with the Oscars coming up, which we'll talk about in a little bit, it wasn't the same. It didn't feel like a movie year. People couldn't go to the theaters. Everything was streamed, which always puts me in the mindset of, made for TV kind of movie, even though these are big budget movies that they've, now have on Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and, all these other channels, these streaming channels, Disney and whatnots. It just ain't the same. So, and people are tired of seeing the pandemic ridden award shows where everybody is socially distanced and there's not that many people there. There's not an audience. They may or may not have a red carpet. That's scaled down dramatically. It just doesn't feel like award season. So I can see why people did not watch the Grammys. I did watch the Grammys though. The Grammys is one of the award shows that I'm least excited about because a lot of the times I don't really know the songs. But actually this Grammys, I knew a lot of what was going on there. So I felt pretty good about that. Let's just go through it. So Trevor Noah was the host. I like Trevor. We read his book in my book club, Roxy Riggs book club. The shameless plug there. A lot of you recently joined, so thank you so much. But anyway, we read his book. Very interesting childhood, very interesting life, very funny man, very smart, intelligent. I love to see him on his talk show. I liked him as a host, but it was different because I feel like they were trying to do something new. I guess because it was like this whole pandemic and we didn't have the audience and, all of that, but we did have live performances. He decided to approach it as if it were a talk show performance. And after people would perform, he would get up on the stage and kind of talk to them. And, when we see award shows in the past, once the production, the performance is over, then we don't see them anymore. But, they kind of just all standing there looking like, and then here he come talking like, hey, you know what? That was really great. Like, and everybody, I was like, this is weird. This is weird. Nobody knows what to do with Trevor. He keeps popping up in the middle of these people's set, well, it's over, but still, So that part was strange. I did like the fact that it was partially inside, partially outside. It was, I actually thought it was okay. I thought it was an okay Grammys award show, but not of Grammy award shows of the past. It just didn't hold that same kind of excitement because of everything that's going on. I didn't write down who won what. Child, y'all already know. I know that Meg Thee Stallion won a whole bunch. I think the only one that she didn't win was Best Album or something like that. I think that went to Billie Eilish. Don't quote me because I'm just going off the top of my head. But I did see that she and Beyonce, who actually just popped up out the blue, Okay, that's how stealth her and Jay-Z move. That, you know, we all sitting around as a group at the award shows. You know, they were outside, and when Meg Thee Stallion won for Savage best collab for rap album or rap song, when she saw Beyonce, she was just like, oh my God, I didn't even know you were here. Okay. So they didn't, when they slid into their seat, people didn't even realize that they was there, honey. When they showed that camera, them two was sitting over there like, and what? Yes, we've been here for some time. I almost feel like they weren't even going to come to the show. Because they did show up late. Although I know that they do show up late a lot of times because they try to avoid all of the paparazzi and the fanfare and the red carpet. They rarely do red carpet. So I know that that's their thing, to not do that and just kind of show up inside the award show. But this time it just felt like maybe they wasn't coming at all. Somebody on Twitter was like, "Young child, they had the Netflix about to get started and the snacks and everything." And somebody from the Grammys must have called and been like, "Hey, you got to come on down here because we about to give you this Grammy and it's history making, so you need to hurry up and get here." Okay, so then Beyonce went on to her closet, was like, "Let me see what I got. How must I slay the gods today?" She did her hair all big, much like how mine is today. This ain't on purpose, but you know, Beyonce had her hair big. She had on her black, you know, leather dress. It was all ruched and off the shoulders and, you know, very shapely, teeny tiny waist. You guys know I have like a thing for people with small waists. It's just something that my eye automatically goes to. She looked great, but they both looked like they had better things to do, you know. But she did make history. She's like the highest winning Grammy. She's the highest Grammy, so she's gotten the most Grammys out of man, woman, artist, period. She's got like 38, I believe that they said. And so she got her 38th one with Meg Thee Stallion. So she had to be there for that. And of course, she got up there and thanked everybody. You know, Meg Thee Stallion was also very emotional with the wins that she had gotten, because it's been a interesting year for her. Very good year, and then of course she's had some bad too. So I'm sure she was reflecting and all of that. So good for Meg, good for Beyonce. Little Blue Ivy also did win for her participation in Brown Skin Girl. Okay, so she is one of the youngest Grammy Award winning artists out there. So I mean, the whole family got them. All we got to get is Rumi and Sir. We got to get them some awards, and then it'll be all, you know, it's all about the family. Who else? So that's really all. Tiffany Haddish, she also did win for best comedy album. Okay, they said that a black woman had not won that award since 1986, which was Whoopi Goldberg for her album back then. So congratulations to Tiffany Haddish. And then I didn't write down any other ones because nothing else was super important to me. The performances I really did enjoy. I did love the baby and Lil Baby and Anthony Hamilton and the random old white people in the background dancing with a full heart involved in the song. You guys, it was weird that Anthony Hamilton, it was so random that he was there. You know, it was so much going on up there, but I really did enjoy that performance. I did like Lil Baby's performance. People were talking about it. You know, it was supposed to be a play on what happened when Rashard, I can't think of what his last name is, but the one who was asleep in his car and the police woke him up, and then when he ran away, they shot him. Okay, they did a play on that. Also had Tamika Mallory up there, had Killer Mike up there. They both spoke within the performance. I really thought it was powerful. I enjoyed it. I know there is stuff going on with Black Lives Matter. We're going to talk about that in Let's Talk About It tomorrow. Okay, so I definitely we'll discuss that. I know that's going on. So I enjoyed that performance. Meg Thee Stallion's performance, Cardi B's performance, their performance together. you know, it was a lot to me. Okay, y'all know that Rocky is old and I'm old school, and I'm all for the girls having a good time, and you know what, you're celebrating your body and your sexuality and all of that, but all that on the TV, I just was like, I can't believe they showing this. I mean, this is primetime TV, even though it was after 10 o'clock. But still, it was a lot of coochies and ass and nasty words. I mean, WAP is a nasty song. It's a nasty song. I told you guys that from the beginning. The stuff that they say in that song is nasty. So when I was watching them do that, you know, and thinking about, like, I don't know if I would have been wanting to watch that with my parents, you know? So, yeah, it's a lot. I mean, times have changed. And, you know, people was fine with it. I mean, I was fine with it, but I was just like, ooh, oh, okay, child, that's a whole lot. Who else is performing? Dua Lipa. Child, I didn't even know that song was a woman that sang it. I always thought it was a man. She has a very deep voice. I didn't know that. I don't know any of her other songs. If I do, I don't know that I know that that's her singing. So, yeah, her performance. Now, she also did perform in a panty, in like a high-waisted panty and bra. So, if we're going to talk about Meg and Cardi, we also got to talk about Dua Lipa, who was also, you know, very underdressed, you know. So, she's just not as curvy and juicy as the rest of them. And of course, she's not doing exactly the same type of dances that Meg and Cardi and them were. But still, I mean, it's just like, maybe we just need to put a few clothes on. No, y'all was fine with it. Okay, I mean, if you was fine with it, fine. I mean, obviously they was fine with it. They put it on the TV and they did not try to censor none of that. Okay, so I was just like, oh, okay. And that's pretty much it. I think Billie Eilish, like I said, won the best album of the year. Good for her. I love her music. She's awesome. I love that Watermelon Sugar High. Watermelon Sugar High. Watermelon Sugar High. That song be jamming. Watermelon Sugar High. Watermelon Sugar High. Child, I love that song. He's so cute to me with his little scrawny self, child. I love him. What is the song about? I know it's about something nasty, because they always are when it don't. I read the words and everything, and I was like, this ain't got nothing to do with no damn watermelon sugar. So congratulations to everybody that won. Like I said, I mean, the show I watched it all the way through, but I could have took it or leave it. That's just kind of how I feel about it. What did you guys think about it, though? Oh, I almost forgot. I love the performance with Silk Sonic, with child, I can't even think of the song right now. Bruno Mars and oh boy, oh my God, the song is, oh, I can't. I'ma leave the door open. Y'all love that song too. Ooh, that song make you want to do nasty, nasty things. So see, that's the difference with an outright nasty song and then a song that gives you the implication of nastiness. And child, that song make you be ready to get busy. That is a great, great song. I loved their performance and everything, honey. Bruno Mars, he everything he touches, you guys, it's a hit. Anyway. You guys let me know what you thought about the Grammys. What was your good, your bad, your ugly? All right, you guys, and while we're talking about the awards, let's talk about the Academy Awards. Now, I already gave you my opinion on that. It doesn't feel like it's time for us to be celebrating movies when we ain't been able to go to the damn movie theater in a year. Even though the theaters are slowly trickling back open, I'm starting to feel safe, confident enough to start going back to the theater. I just told Missa the other day that I'm ready to start going back to the movies. Fuck all this looking at it in the living room. I'm over it. Okay, I need the sound. I need my chair to shake. I need the whole experience, and I'm just not getting it at this house. Okay, so yeah, but yet and still, Oscars, even though it's been severely delayed, it will be happening in a few weeks, actually. They're saying that it's more diverse than ever. Even though I did read an article today that said that the Latinos were ignored, largely ignored in this round. I said, I bet you the Oscars is like, fuck, we can't get shit right. There's too many of you guys to be trying to include shit. Yeah, they said that the Latinas and the Latinos have been ignored, but yet and still they tried to hit everybody else. I just wrote down the black folks because y'all know me. We rooting for everybody black. Okay, and really I just wrote down the main nominations of actors. So let's go through it. Best lead actor would be Chadwick Boseman. He's been nominated for his performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We know that Chadwick Boseman has died, which is just so sad still. Every time I think about it, I just think it's just such a sad situation there. So hopefully he will win, but he will accept that award. You know, someone will accept that award for him posthumously. I'm sure it'll probably be his wife. Best supporting actor would be Leslie Odom Jr. Okay, we know him from Hamilton fame and many other projects that he's been a part of, but that's been the most notable lately. Yes, he's been nominated for his performance in One Night in Miami, which was directed by Regina King. I wasn't a big fan of that movie, but I felt like, much like I wasn't a big fan of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, but I actually felt like the acting in both of those movies was impeccable. I mean, the things that those people was able to say, it was so much dialogue, you guys. It was so, in both movies, a lot of talking. A lot of things that they had to, you know, commit and get emotional for and everything. So I thought that Leslie Odom, who played child, this memory, it ain't for shit. Sam, y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm gonna put it on the screen. He was nominated for his role in that movie. And then we have for Best Lead Actress, we have Viola Davis, okay, who played the lead role in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, okay? And honey, we know that Viola Davis, I mean, in that movie, she completely transformed herself. You didn't see no Viola Davis at all. This is a whole new person. I was amazed at the way that she didn't even look like herself, and she did an excellent job. So I'm sure she has a good chance of winning that. But we also have newcomer Andra Day, and she was also nominated for Best Actress for The United States versus Billie Holiday, which streamed on Hulu, which I actually thought was a good movie. And she did an excellent job in there. And then for her to not ever be acting, and then for her to do so well in that movie, I am actually rooting for Andra. I'd be fine if Viola Davis won too, but of course we like to sometimes root for the underdog, and that'll be a good look for Miss Andra Day. So those are the people that were nominated. Also, Best Animated Feature would be Soul, the movie Soul, which was streamed on Disney Plus. Okay, I never saw Soul. Everybody said it was really good, so maybe I'll have to check that out before the Oscars. But you guys, that is the things that we're most concerned about. I'm sure there's other black people that are nominated, you know, in other lesser known, you know, lesser popular categories, I should say. So like I said, we root for everybody black. So hopefully wherever there is a black person that is nominated, hopefully they win. All right, you guys. So let's talk about your boy, JessieWilliams. So you guys, we know who JessieWilliams is, right? On Grey's Anatomy, the black man with the blue eyes that everybody had been swooning over when he first came on there. You know, very good looking man, whatnots. We remember that about 4 or 5 years ago, he went through a very public divorce because he was suspected of having an affair with actress Minka Kelly. He ultimately did get that divorce, and just recently, I feel like just last year, they was able to finally settle everything as far as spousal support and child custody, the way they were going to split it or whatever. All that just recently got tied up. So it was a long, lengthy sometimes messy divorce, but they got through it. Okay, so we haven't heard much about Jessie Williams since. We knew that he got a new girlfriend, and I don't remember what the girl's name is, but they seem to settle down, you know, pretty quietly and seem to be going on about their life. But now, you guys, a story comes out that Jessie Williams was having an affair with one of his co-stars on Grey's Anatomy. Her name is Chyler Leigh. Okay, I don't know. I don't watch Grey's Anatomy, so I haven't seen that show in 100 years. So I don't know who she is on the show, but evidently her husband, of all people, is the one who has blasted their affair, their relationship. And strangely, oddly enough, he's only put the blame on Jessie Williams. Okay, he said in a bunch of tweets that he released recently that Jessie Williams, you know, worked with his wife, Chyler, and he was able to befriend her. They were close because they were on the show, and that meant that he also was close to Jessie Williams. They all became friends because evidently Jessie said that he was impressed by the husband's job. You know, he's a creative, and he's a director, and he's a producer, and he does all of these things, right? So he said that Jessie Williams got himself into their lives that way by, you know, extreme flattery of said husband. And so then the husband goes on to say that Jessie Williams continued to get closer with his wife and preyed on her weakness, that she has bipolarism, and that was how he was able to persuade her to have this affair. He says that it's all on Jessie Williams because his wife is, you know, I guess he's saying that she has a mental illness, and so that means that excuses her from having an affair. I understand bipolarism. I mean, I'm sure it's a very intricate, I can't get my words, very intricate, you know, diagnosis to have, but I would be willing to bet that she knew that she wasn't supposed to be having an affair with Jessie Williams. Okay, yet and still, so the husband has put all the blame on Jessie Williams, and said that he loves his wife with all his heart, you know, and that he would die for her, and all that is fine and good. But yeah, it's just interesting that he's only blamed Jessie Williams for this. So that's the newest round of gossip on the old Blue Eyes. Okay, of course, he hasn't come out and said anything towards this, not saying if it is or is not even true. I'm sure this makes things very difficult considering they have to work on this show together. Grey's Anatomy has been on for 15 years, 16, 17, 18, 19. I want to say too damn long is what I want to say, because now they have all these shows mixed up with the Station 19 show or something. Child, anyway, I guess Shonda said she gonna continue to get her coins, okay, even though she making a killing over there on Netflix, I'm sure, okay? But yeah, you guys, that's what's happening there. I said, boy, that Jessie, he sure seemed to get around, don't he?